Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is the most imperative, important message about a dream for the umpteenth time coming to pass from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is being documented right now. The one previous to this was about COVID-19 1 month before that came true, and it mentioned masks and it mentioned multiple things related to COVID-19. I have no knowledge of this other than that which it is that I am shown. Now, today it is Saturday 1:37. The dream had occurred Friday morning after Salatul Fajr, Salatul Sunnati Fajr as well too. I had made dua and I had fallen asleep. Obviously protecting myself by asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect me rather from shaitan, from iblis and any sort of evil, any sort of darkness that may come across to misdirect me. Whereupon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows me the most realistic dream ever, a vision within a dream, showing to me where I was in Astoria, Queens, my hometown where I grew up, and this is in New York City, in the United States of America. So I was in Astoria, Queens, New York City, United States of America. The place where I was in Queens was, or rather in Astoria, was a block off of Steinway Street. And I remember that in the dream I was standing, and it was, an outdoor restaurant seating, just like they have in Europe and stuff. And in this outdoor restaurant seating place, everybody was eating and talking, and it was just, we just went out to eat. It was the daytime. Not in the morning, though. It's like mid-afternoon, sometime around that, and it was not winter, and it was not summer. So it was like autumny, kind of like November-ish, something in the sort, or in between. So, but felt like it was around holiday time, festive time, and because you have the pumpkins and stuff like that, and so people were out because it was festive time, or going to be festive time, autumny-ish, holiday time, what was it called? And anyhow, people were just out, that's all. So as they're talking and etc, right? I'm standing. This is by the parking lot, by the way, if anyone wants to know where the restaurant was. This is off of Steinway Street, which is, there's a parking lot in between, it's, where all the shisha places are, the Arabic spots are. Everybody just usually goes ahead and parks in that big parking lot that's usually surrounded by what's it called, restaurants, and even I think a gym too. And they walk out and then they start going to the shisha spots. Okay, so you would recall if you are from around here. Anyhow, so back to the dream. What's it called? I'm in front of, standing in front of the restaurant while everybody else is talking, yada yada yada. I see a man. If I can remember, it was a man. Some man, I can't tell because that part was like very blurry type. It's just, I was being shown something. And the thing was that there's a man that gets up right away as if he had just read some news. And the news was that, I don't know what the news was, but the news was very alarming to the point where he was standing, and everybody else that was sitting on his side were just talking to each other, like they were just stumped, like they didn't, how to react, how to respond. So me, I already in my petrified heart and my mind, my soul really, just started to, like, want to dip, like DIP, like an Audi, like an Audi would just like be out. Um, I just wanted to get out like immediately, like I just wanted to go ahead and found a building, a foundation, something to cover myself from the atmosphere above. What's it called? I don't know why, but I just wanted to cover myself. Like, just I wanted to just stay hidden. Um, and what had happened was, uh, that's the first part of the dream. The second part of the dream was that I was still in Astoria, still around the same neighborhood. The farthest I got was perhaps maybe an avenue a couple blocks away, and I was underneath a like um like a train line tunnel bridge, something of the sort, and I can recognize if I were to see it. It's like a bridge type of thing, and I'm underneath a tunnel thing or whatever this is in the bottom, and um, it's it's the only thing that's above my head, and I couldn't go into any other buildings or houses or homes. What's it called? So I went inside. I went inside there, and it was open though. It was like open from both sides. It's like I said, it was like a bridge, like tunnel thing, and it had both sides open. But next to me was this Indian guy, perhaps Indian. That's the only way that I could describe. Um, and I didn't know him, but he was there too. Full sleeved, button down shirt. What's it called? And pair of pants. What's it called? Just trying to describe the description here of the appearance. Uh, Brown skinned. That's the only thing I would think. Brown skin. And I was there too. So both of us had made it out of wherever the heck it is that we were headed towards, but we were underneath the bridge thing. Okay. And all of a sudden, I start to, I don't know which scene came first, this one I just told you, or the one that I'm about to tell you next. Um, I had seen, or I had this worrisome feeling of something coming from uh, some wind clouds coming, excuse me, over the waters of Astoria Park, where it would be Hudson, what's it called, Hudson River, and it was coming from Manhattan. It's coming from Manhattan. Whatever this wind clouds was, it was coming from Manhattan. What's it called? And there was no questions, and there was no time to think, nothing at all. And all I know is that this wind cloud, this cloud that we were all so petrified about, was coming. It I saw that it was coming over the waters, like the wind and the cloud, whatever this was coming over the waters. And as it was coming over the waters, it obviously made it onto the side that I was on at that time. And what had happened was, there was a cloud so quick, like within a millisecond. Massive clouds, a massive black colored cloud. And that was going over the tunnel. It's like millisecond going over the tunnel. And so it passed. That frightening thing was called, that was passing over, lurking over. And it was just coming from Manhattan over Astoria, Queens, and over the bridge at that point, going past the bridge at that point. It was gone. But when I looked at my hand, I had seen that in the dream, part of my skin down to my flesh was gone. You can see the flesh, the meat underneath, the maroon burgundy colored, reddish, brownish, whatever, burgundy colored meat that's underneath the skin, the flesh. So, whatever this was that had occurred in a millisecond had taken away the skin, burned the skin. And I saw a patch of my own flesh, and it will in the dream maybe to understand as to the impact of the worrisome of I know that I have been praying and praying and praying for all the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been showing to me. I've been pleading to God for the suffering and just paying even zakat for our city, our countries, our myself. Forget about everybody else. I gotta think about myself, right? I'm just saying, realistically. But I, don't know what to do anymore at this point, but other than just seek astaghfirullah for the sin of mankind. Like who, what, where, when, why. The question is how to, other than just to pray. God, deliver us from whatever evil this is. Inshallah. I thought I would document this. I want to say to my brothers, sisters, all of you, that pray, repent, seek istighfar, and just ask Allah Ta'ala to take us out of this darkness for our lives, our family, our friends, our communities, our cities, our nation. I love you, and if we there's a saying of I'll meet you on the other side. I love you. I love you. New York City. I love you, home. Silence.